it's through that hedge that you're kind of able to peek, and you see the shattered body of the Gamork lying there, being turned into ash and smoke. As you approach, you see these eyes, they're unblinking, staring at you from between the rib bones, and you hear a voice, the same one that you heard before coming from the Gamork, but this one is lighter. This one is less burdened. You destroyed me. Are you here to finish it?
No, I'm here to help.
What if I trust you and you kill me?
I don't think I could do that, but that's the gamble you take when you choose the righteous path, man. When you choose love, you never know, but you just gotta trust that that's not gonna happen.
And when he looks at you, he acts more like a puppy than you've ever seen as he kind of skips a little bit in an awkward movement. Joy, hope, these are foreign things. The physical motions associated which are also foreign. And as it hops around, it says, I will have your back. And you see the Gamork walk around behind you and disappear into your shadow. And Rob, in this moment, you're not sure when it is, but by the dress of Maggie, you would think that it is at least in the same time as whenever you guys went back and visited her before Woodstock. Maybe a few years later, she's inside the paperback exchange and you see her sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground. She's very young, much younger than you remember her, and she is forming in the air symbols, and you see these symbols. They hold the lines that she draws for a moment as she draws with a circle and slashes through them, and you see that there is a crackle and you can hear it, almost an electricity that raises the hair on your arms. Even in this state, just observation, you are feeling the experiences that are coming off of this moment in Maggie's past. And as she's doing that, you see her focus and she is whispering over and over again, protect them, protect them. And you see as she makes these symbols in the sky above Garrett, the same symbols are beginning to appear in the clouds. You know, at this moment, Maggie, who was sent here from another place, is trying to cast a spell to veil Garrett, to protect Garrett from any outside influence. And Rob, inside this moment where you see Maggie, you see her eyes go wide as she reaches up to her elbows into the symbol that's on the tile floor of the paperback exchange, and she pulls forth a child. And when she pulls this child out of the symbol, your POV switches and you are looking up into the face of your mother. And in this moment, you understand you weren't meant to exist. You were meant to protect. The world becomes a photo album. As Rob, you are experiencing moments of your early existence that had heretofore never been revealed to you by Maggie or anyone. You see that Maggie, with you in a kind of a constructed bassinet, very hippie-esque, is sitting on the counter at the paperback exchange, and you can see that she is talking into a mirror, something that you would hang on a wall. And inside that mirror, you can see various figures in fantastical places. But the one that is the most frequent is a face that you come to in later life almost want to adopt for your own, as the large metallic face of Optimus Prime has long conversations with Maggie, conversations that you can't understand, but you can tell just by watching that there is an affection between these two. There is a friendship, a partnership. As you see her face, you realize that she is scared. You can see her talking through that mirror again, and you see the face of an older Heather, the person that you fought beside in the Age of Always, and you can see them talking and you can see the concern on their faces, and you can see Maggie pleading with this queen that's on the other side of this mirror, and you see the visage of Optimus Prime talking, and you can see there's another flash, another day comes by, there's a peeking out of the window, there's concerned looks towards you. You realize that she's not taking you out of this place anymore. No more trips to the park, no more trips to the playground, no more experiencing the air in Garrett. You are sequestered, imprisoned, and you realize that Maggie has made a decision. And with this mirror, a larger portal opens, and you see, kind of ushered in through conveyor belts, two naked forms, one a man, one a woman, and they are brought in, and you see Maggie kind of stand them up and dress them in clothing that she had purchased for them. And you recognize the faces of your parents, the ones that would sit in your living room all the time. And as robotically as you can picture, they bend down, pick you up, put you in their arms. And as Maggie is bawling her eyes out, they walk across Garrett into your family home. They put you in a crib, and there they sit, guarding but never loving Robot. They take you through the portal, and as Optimus looks, you see a blast hit him from behind as sparks fly over his shoulders. Maggie cries out in pain and tries to reach for him, but the portal begins to close, and you hear Optimus, the first words that you ever understand: "Until the day, until all are one." He hands you back into the world that you will inhabit as you have become the protector in spell, in science, in wish of Garrett. This is how you were born. This is how you survived before you could remember. And it is in that tale and it is in that moment that you realize beyond a shadow of a doubt, with a 5 fucking comprehend and a 12 initial roll, that you are not from this place, but there is no being, living or dead, that is closer associated with Garrett. You are its protector. The spell that was meant to shield this place is you. Okay, and so as you back in, until you kind of pass into the ribbon, and then the entirety of your vision, it's almost like you reverse fields. You are looking now at the ribbon, and you can see that the shadowy Shannon and Dutch on the other side, but now those smells and those sounds and the rain begins to pour down on you. You turn around and you see a world that is not shrouded in darkness, and you can smell that vegetation, that strange mixture of living and rotting, that circle of life. And you get that in spades. Never before, I can safely say, has Mitch ever experienced this much of just pure nature. And these ferns that are around you are massive, and the mag truck graveyard is gone. But just beyond these giant ferns, as if, acting as a curtain, you can see a blue glow. As Mitch, you kind of creep forward and move and part those large kind of leafy branches of the ferns, you see that there is a river of energon that is just moving much like water. In addition to that, you see moving and crawling very slowly, like lightning that wants to go home, energon lancing slowly into the air and dissipating into the fog and mist. And across this river, you would see a stegosaurus drinking from the energon. There is remnants of this blue glow around its mouth. You can see that the skin and the eye itself also contain that kind of luminescence. And just below the thinner parts of its flesh, where the veinage is a bit apparent, pulses of blue go through this stegosaurus's throat and around its like spiny plates along its back. But it's in that moment of just seeing the sort of like math inside of the energon, you turn around to kind of gauge the progress of Shannon when you see that there is a man with a large black cowboy hat standing directly behind Dutch and Shannon. It's not like water. It's like if you could distill a wish like you do bourbon. It's the genie in the bottle. It's the falling star. It's the moat of sand. Does that make sense?
But is it safe, and will it help him? Because I'm pretty sure that's what Mitch's brain is assuming.
How dangerous is a wish?
Pretty damn dangerous.
Then it's pretty damn dangerous.
Mitch, I don't think that's gonna get whatever you're after.
What do you mean?
It's dangerous. Want to bring Aaron over here?
Who's the hat?
We haven't been properly introduced yet.
He puts the cigarette between his teeth and he turns and sticks out a large, rough hand and he says, "Randall Flagg, pleasure to meet you. I've never seen this before. Do you know what this shit is?"
The Energon?
No. This is creation.
Tomato, tomato.
There's no place in anywhere that has this.
But what? But why? Why are we here? Why are you here?
I'm here to figure out why this is here, what this place is going to be. Where are you from?
He looks at the dinosaur, sort of shrugs and goes, "The future?
How far?
I don't know, a couple billion?
What is this place? Is there a town or anything close to it?
You're in it.
What's its name?
Garrett.
Garrett. Garrett.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for the season finale of Atari Midnight, Wasted Years. And I, for one, am not ready for it. But if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is obviously by something on Twitch right now. No, but seriously, joining us over on the Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're down there, make sure you join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the Michigan/Maggie bar that will soon to be updated. If you any amount of money that goes into that bar goes back to these faces that you see here before you, and also when it fills for Maggie, good things happen. When it fills for Michigan, it's the last episode, so I assume Greg actually kills me in real life. With that being said, I turn things over to the mastermind himself. Greg, please take us away.
Well, hello, everybody. It's time for the Atari Midnight season finale of Wasted Years, episode 12, The Mitches 3. I will remind my players that we have already rolled leadership dice. We have the dice basically stating right now that George has 4 extra dice, Rob has 2, and those could become very vitally important here over the course of the next several minutes. The other thing that I will mention is we currently have a condition that can be removed with the beneficial Maggie that was donated in the last episode, and we do have a gamble in play. There is a guaranteed loss of a condition by just taking the Maggie, or a D12 can be rolled, and a 10, 11, or 12 will remove 2 conditions. Now, if you roll anything else, it is wasted. So we will wait until after the intro to see exactly how that is. No questions for my crew today, but get ready to talk about your characters, for it may be the last time. Who knows? All right, everybody. There was something different about childhood in the 80s. Days felt endless, stretching out under the glow of tube televisions and the hum of cassette players. And by the way, go to your Spotify playlist, everybody. Turn on the very last track, the season titled Wasted Years. We lived for Saturday morning cartoons, the rattle of quarters in the arcade, the screech of bike tires on warm pavement. But then back then, it felt like those memories would last forever. But time has a way of changing things. The sharper edges of memory wear down. The colors fade, and what was once vivid becomes fragments. A song lyric, the smell of popcorn at the theater, the way the summer sun dipped just below the horizon, right as the streetlights popped on. As we grow older, we reach for those memories like fireflies in the dark, fleeting, fragile, almost gone as soon as they're caught. Yet they linger in us, quiet reminders of who we were and how even the smallest joys can echo across a lifetime. Childhood passes, but its light never really leaves us. This is a story of returning to that light. This is a story of heroes reforged. This is a story that never ends. This is the season finale of Atari Midnight, episode 12, The Mitches 3. Friends, I'm going to go around. Let's quickly introduce ourselves, who will be playing, and whether or not you'd like to see your characters survive to season 2, which I'm assuming is a yes, but who knows? Someone out there may be nihilistic. Let's start with our host, Mike.
I don't like that transition one bit, Greg. I'm Mike. You guys know me. I'm here in everything. I'm playing at least one of the Mitches, I hope. And here's what I'll say. I hope to continue to at least play one of the Mitches going forward. Whatever that means is whatever you determine, Greg. But I do hope to continue at least a Mitch.
Fantastic. Bitters, let's jump over to you, my friend.
I'm Mr. Bitters, and I'll be playing Jerry Baker. Our favorite lovable douchebag. He should probably survive. His odds are better than anybody else by the numbers. But I could probably play one of the Mitches next season too, so I can go either way.
Okay. Mitch. Alrighty. Let's jump down to Meta. Meta, who are you playing and all that good stuff?
I'm playing Shannon, and I don't even know where to begin, and it would take too long to articulate. Yeah. If that tells you my state of mind, there you go.
I felt like I was in trouble and in the middle of your answer. So I'm just going to move on as we jump over to Kendall. Who are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm Kendall. I'm playing Rob. And it's 50-50. I think if I die, I hope it's worth it. If I live, then I'll try another time. But I'm not above throwing myself in front of the train, as it were.
That's why I ask these questions. I know we have a lot of defenders of the faith, so to speak, here. So last but certainly not least, our character currently one condition away from death, Mike.
I'm somehow double muted again. It was weird hearing you use my Christian name there. I'm so used to Rhino. Yeah, so I'm playing George Butts, the other douchebag. Maybe not as lovable as Jerry, but a douchebag nevertheless. I would love to see George live. I think he's done, not to speak, so well about my character. I think we all have great characters, but I'd love to see him, continue, because I think he's on this really cool nexus of events that can go so many different ways for his character growth. But if he is to die, I'd like him to come back as another version of George with a cowboy hat. So if we can make that happen, Greg, that'd be nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
A cowboy hat George next season, and Bitters playing Mitch. Got it. All right. Locked in. All right, everybody. The only thing I have left for you, Rhino, is what do you want to do? You want to just take one condition off, or are you going to make the roll?
We got to gamble, Greg. You can't.
I love it. I love it.
It's D12 for this, right? Or
it's a D12. 10, right. 11, or 12. It's 2. Everything else is nothing. It's okay. That's all right. So we
could I push it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, pushing it would kill you. So no, we're gonna let her rest right there.
Oh man.
Everybody, just be very aware that George is currently at 5 conditions. The 6th one sends him to the great beyond, or that wherever you send toasters that burn out. We'll happen to see. All right, everybody. So as we dive back into the season finale of Atari Midnight, our very first season of Atari Midnight, we dive into the world of Garrett, Garrett that we learned much about throughout the course of Atari Twilight, all of its different varied versions, all of its different people, and that entire city has been turned on its head. Versions of itself exist throughout time as ribbons of distortion erupt across the face of the city that all these characters call home. And it is in this moment where we have 2 of our party members that are held up in a mausoleum in Rose Hill Cemetery, and the rest of the group heading like the crow flies towards their hideout of Teletran 2 in the Mag Truck Graveyard. It is to the 2 closest to Teletran 2 that we now go. Well, the closest and the farthest away, as we dive into the ribbon surrounding the Mag Truck Graveyard, as we go back in time almost as far as you can go for Garrett, to the prehistoric Garrett, where dinosaurs still walk the earth. And here we have Shannon Locke. We have Dutch in basically a form of just having the hell beat out of him. And of course, one of the Mitches of the Mitches 3. So friends, you find yourself standing here facing off against somebody who has announced themselves as Randall Flagg, a decidedly younger version than you remember from his exploits and encounters in the 60s. And it is to that character that you all turn, and it is to the energon that is flowing like rivers and streams across the face of what will be Garrett at some point. And it is there that Aaron, the brand new son of George Butts, is in a state of glory as this young child looks around and sees all of these dinosaurs. Well, not really. There's one visible right now, but there are definitely the imprints and the effects of an entire world filled with such creatures, at least enough for the imagination of a young boy to fill. But friends, you have Randall Flagg in front of you, and he has just said the name of Garrett as it echoes across the entire landscape that you see. And he turns to you all prepared to offer information, but he waits to see if you have anything to say. He seems surprised that he has company in this place. Shannon, Mitch, to begin our final adventure in this season, what do you do?
What are you?
Excuse me. I'm Randall Flagg.
No, you misheard the question. What are you?
I'm a traveler, I guess, is the easiest way to say it.
I'm from the future. We're from the future. We're back in prehistoric dinosaur times. I can teleport interdimensionally. I'm pretty sure she can turn invisible and or is a vampire. So let's go with the not easy description.
He looks at you strangely. You can travel? Show me.
I asked first. I know Randall Flagg. I said it before. You're not the same Randall Flagg. You don't look like him. Maybe you're younger.
How about this? And you see him become a much older version of himself with gray hair. The features are slightly changed, not necessarily aged, but weathered. And he is wearing what looks to be a suit of armor with a white overlay of cloth across the top, much like a crusader would wear. Is this how you know me?
No. Motorcycle hat, cowboy hat situation.
Cowboy.
Probably like, I don't know, mid 40s.
Like this? And he turns into something that looks sort of like what you're talking about, but not exactly.
More or less. But just because you can change what you look like, you still don't know who I am. Which means you haven't met me yet. Which means you can move through time.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Okay. So what are you? Traveler was the easy answer, but
I'm a gardener.
and I assume primordial garden.
Well, you have to see where everything starts, don't you?
Okay.
And he doesn't seem like he's being deliberately vague. He seems more like this was my place and you showed up here. It's not defensive. It's just, I don't know you. You don't know me. And he figures that he's given you enough. But then he kind of turns and presents the riverside, so to speak, with the energon flowing through it. And all of a sudden there's a campfire with plenty of stumps to sit on and logs beside it. And he sits down and crosses his legs and begins to roll a cigarette and indicates the logs and stumps and stones around the fire. Have a seat.
Mitch turns to Shannon and consequently Dutch and says, "Be good." Like morally, like is he physically okay?
Not sure. She does help Dutch sit down if he tries to, and has a seat on the stump next to him.
Right. And without a roll, because you know Dutch well enough, Shannon, you can tell that normally any question about how he's doing would have been met with at least the overture of bravado, where he would, make himself at least look better than how he feels. But in this instance, Dutch just kind of drops into the seat. He doesn't try to, no pomp, no circumstance in front of Mitch or Flagg or even you. And he sits down, and that in and of itself would probably tell Shannon that he has to be hurting something fierce.
Yeah.
Mitch turns to the side and flips open the bag, and you see him rummaging around in there, and anyone watching would see like a couple of sparks zap out of the bag, and he turns back and kneels down in front of Aaron. He says, "Hey, bud, I don't know how long this is going to take, but I can guarantee that for you, this is going to be boring. So I know you're a kid and also, you know, a robot. So I'm sure you can hang out and sit still, but just in case." And he pulls out like two small action figures that are absolutely handmade, or homemade rather. And he hands them to Aaron. And he kind of stands back up and puts like a hand on the between his shoulder blades and guides him to a seat, with enough space between him and Flag, and sits down and has Aaron sit.
And what Aaron would do then is it's almost like he knows that when Uncle Mitch reaches into his bag, something fun's going to come out. And so he grabs the action figures and he sits down not on the stump, but behind the stump. So all you see is basically like the top of his eyes as he has the figures almost on a stage on the stump. And they begin to act out a scene very reminiscent to the one playing out in front. And you quickly realize that one action figure is Auntie Shannon and the other one is Uncle Mitch.
So
who do you work
for?
for?
Who do I work for?
As Flag finishes rolling a cigarette and he lights it with no match.
I don't work for anyone.
You're independent.
As independent as one person can be.
Who do you work for?
The Queen.
Excuse me?
The Queen?
The dinosaur queen? I don't you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific.
Apologies. I thought everybody knew she who sits the Mobius throne. Age of always.
Mitch, any of this? You have any?
No, I mean, maybe Rob appeared in the spare second, and he was rattling off about like the age or the world of Never Was or something like that. I don't know. He seemed
Hold on.
Robbier than Rob.
So Peter Pan out there that tried to kill me is that the Queen thing? What is happening right now exactly?
Did you fight Peter Pan? What?
I don't know. I don't know what he was, who he was. He tried to kill me. He had Dutch. We haven't caught up on the situation, but basically he, I think, is responsible for everything. And he wanted me gone really bad. And well, anyway, here we are. So does he have anything to do with the Queen, or is that something else altogether?
Flag's just smoking, listening, making note of all the information you're providing him.
Sure. So the Peter Pan thing, not ringing a bell either. Nothing.
Flag's not even sure. I don't know of Mr. Pan.
I mean, he call himself. Doesn't matter. There's a crazy person out there trying to kill everybody and remake the world for whatever end goal that. Oh, okay.
And he's in Garrett.
Yes, he I think is responsible for all these bubbles. I'm not really sure what's going on, but each time we go between areas, something changes. And now we're with dinosaurs.
Realization. Yeah, you can see realization as you're talking comes across Flag's face. Well, that makes sense, because if this place is the same in the future, this is the alpha and omega of creation. This is the two sides of the coin. The question is existence, and life itself deemed this place to be the only place in all of reality where this shit, and he points to the energon, exists. And this shit, in conjunction with the fact that this spot that we're standing on has the thinnest of margins between this and every other reality. I was drawn
Okay.
here.
Hold on. If it's thinnest here, does that mean we can change things here? Like influence the future here?
Potentially, if that's something that you have been commanded to do. Otherwise, there's people that will be mighty upset if you decide to redirect the flow of time.
No, nobody commanded us. I got taken from my life and brought here again. So nobody's commanding me to do anything. I just want to know what the fuck is going on and how to make it stop. That's all.
He stops for a second and the cigarette in his fingers burns unsmoked. What's your name again?
Shannon Locke.
Roll me I'll take an empathize here from both.
Did we just lose Greg? Or is that just me?
Just you.
I'm still
Just me?
here.
Crap. That's fun.
Someone ask Meta to roll an empathize if she doesn't know.
He wants you to roll and empathize.
No? No?
She's frozen. Nope, now she's back. And now she's gone.
And now she's gone.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay.
I will say this. As soon as Meta gets back, Randall recognizes that name.
Okay.
And and not only does Randall recognize that name, you realize that he is drinking in all of the information that you're giving him. That with 3 successes on empathize. In fact, with 3, Mike, I'm going to allow you to ask a question, not to him, but to me about him. In this
Ooh.
moment, if there's something that you feel like you need to glean from him, with 3, that gives you the opportunity to do so. And I will be, wait for it, honest.
Sorry. Okay, I'm back.
That's
roll-
fine.
roll
Roll
an empathize.
empathize.
Okay.
What I ask? It's wild. Okay.
Empathize. Where are you? Oh, at the very bottom. Yay. Anything? 0. Oh, that's so fun. Okay.
Greg, I would like to know, and this is less of a question and more of a like an observation, like an ongoing potentially observation.
Sure.
I would like to know whatever we say that seems to strike him most importantly or most curiously. That's like this is a thing that I need to know, or this is the oh shit. Like anytime that we say something and he's like, oh, and it's like new information for him, or he's like trying to hide that he's like masking that he's like interested in this information. I'd love to know that.
Sure. I will, in lieu of a question, I will let you know the things that he is most interested by inside this moment.
Oh yeah.
He looks around and now again, Meta, if you didn't hear, because of the role that Mike made, Mitchell realizes that our guy Flag here recognizes your name. He played it off as he doesn't. Shannon wouldn't see that because of her role, but Mitch did clock that whenever he was discussing it. But he would turn and kind of continue on his, bit of a lecture tour here and just say, no, this place is the fabric between the worlds here is thinnest. And it's basically what drew me to this place. I mean, if we were sailors, this would be the perfect storm. We have this, and he points to this blue energy. It's magic. It's life and death. With it, you can change anything. Think of it as an infinite amount of clay for a potter's wheel. And this reality's only known naturally occurring source just so happens to be in the same spot where the barrier between the worlds is thinnest. Wars have been fought for far less. So why are you here?
An accident.
Nothing
Yeah.
is accident.
Well, there's a fabric of reality that was in between where I was and where I wanted to go, and I went through it, trying to get to my destination, and through it is here.
You 2, 3, and he looks at Aaron for a second, kind of shrugs. 4 are the first 4 people I have ever met outside of the court of the Queen. This is my first trip. And Mike, you can tell he's being honest. They sent me to the beginning to start.
To do what exactly?
Make sure things don't get overgrown.
Oh, the plants or the dinosaurs or something else?
Existence.
Okay. I was never much for riddles, but I'm especially kind of over it now. I don't really know what to do here, Mitch.
My
Like-
my apologies, Miss Locke. Mitch, you pick up that Flag is scared of Shannon.
Okay. Hold on. This one second, Shannon. Okay. Two questions right now. What's the queen's name? Just for reference. And do you know a wizard?
I know plenty of wizards.
Hmm.
I myself have been called a wizard in my day.
I don't know how to narrow that down. Do you know a wizard that looks like me?
I've never met you before, sir.
That doesn't mean there's not infinite realities where I exist in all of them.
He looks around. Not yet.
Right. Okay. Not the most helpful with that question, but that's what I figured. The queen? Did she have a name?
Heather?
Little girl?
You can tell
guess-
that he
guess like
bristles
20?
at that.
20 now?
She is not a child. She is a queen, a woman grown.
With like glasses, and she's like blonde.
I don't believe that what the queen must wear to read is of any of your business. Yes, she does wear spectacles. A lot of people do. It's not something that should be shunned or made fun of.
Shannon gets up and starts pacing back and forth.
Kind of timid.
The queen?
Like a little, like kind of like book, like a. I only met her once, like a book, like a kind of like a nerd.
I don't care for that language.
I met her when she was like 12.
You can also tell he has
Careful, then.
absolutely no idea what a nerd means.
Yeah.
I
Careful.
met her when
Mitch,
she was
might,
like 12.
You know,
She was like-
off with your head kind of situation. Shannon,
Okay.
it's just
All right. Well,
The queen not apply to time? Like, did she do the time thing like you do? Because I met a Heather who was like 12, 11, 12, 13, something like that.
I think we're dealing with the idea of what you perceive and what I perceive. And until this moment, we have not met. But I will take note of the fact that outside of the court of the queen, you are the first 4 that I have ever encountered.
Okay. Well, you're not the first flag that I've encountered. And I know a Heather. Well, I've met a Heather.
By the way, you can also tell that he is lying. He knows Shannon.
And a Scarlet and a shit. The other one's name.
Oh my God, it doesn't even matter. What are we doing here, Mitch? What are we here for right now? What is this for? This place?
Oh, it's a pocket of reality, just like all the other slices in Garrett.
So we had to like figure our way out of every other trap. Is this also another trap, or
No, I'm fairly certain we can just walk that way and then we'll
Yes,
pass back
just
through
that
the
way.
room.
I can see it.
This is just like, you know how the slices look like different. This is Garrett. It's just Garrett a billion years ago. You can go if you like. You can. I don't know
I'm
how
not
to get
going anywhere.
through.
Dutch isn't in any position to leave right now.
I don't know how to get through to the mag truck graveyard.
You just walk.
If it was here, it isn't, then it doesn't exist yet, which means that we need to travel through time for us to get to the mag trucks.
Yeah, or just another fabric wall. Like, we travel through the fabric wall to get to Butts' house or the one to the mall.
But wasn't it supposed to be right here? Like where
Yeah,
we
but
are
it's on
standing?
the other side. We're in the. This is like a blanket fort of time. We gotta.
I
get to the
understand
other
that, but
side of
you're
the
not
blanket.
going to move the bubble, right?
No, but a bubble has two sides.
Flag stands up and walks over to where Shannon is pacing and Dutch is sitting, and he offers his arm to help Dutch, and he looks at Shannon. Madam Locke, I would be honored if you would allow me to help your companion. I can see where you all have to go. It's right there.
Go back or to go forward?
If you want to go in which way did you come from? I assumed it was, and he points to where you came from, and he's pointing in a direction that you have not emerged from. So you assume it's the exit point of this ribbon.
That one then. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
He bows his head and puts his arm underneath Dutch and lifts him effortlessly. There you are, lad. Strong up. It's just right this way. And he starts to walk, basically carrying Dutch with an extended arm.
I'll grab Aaron, gather up his toys, and follow after.
Roll me and investigate.
One success.
Aaron picked up something and you do not see what it is, but he hands you back the action figures. Thanks, Uncle Mitch. And he starts to move towards Randall Flagg and Shannon.
Do you know him, Flagg? Dutch?
I don't believe I've had the pleasure. And
really?
Dutch is staring at him. No.
Dutch, you okay?
I haven't met him. Dutch says to the Randall Flagg carrying him. He's too young.
Just a different one. Mm-hmm.
Quickly, Flagg gets to the edge of this ribbon. I'm afraid this isn't how I go, but it seems to be safe, as he kind of like peers through that oil on the top of water look that the ribbons usually have. And very vaguely, almost in a phantom, like, shadowy version of itself, you can see the mag truck graveyard on the other side of this ribbon. I appreciate the information, and it's been a pleasure meeting you all. I hope our paths cross again.
I have a feeling they will.
He looks at Shannon. Me too.
Shannon, go ahead. You go first. Take Dutch with you.
Yeah, I've got him.
Aaron comes up on the other side of Dutch and is like arm around the waist. I can help too, Aunt Shannon.
Thanks, Aaron.
Mitch leans down next to Aaron, just like so his head is next to his ear, and he whispers just so Aaron can hear it. And he says, "If that's dangerous, put it down, and I'll pretend I didn't see it. If not, shh." And he stands back up.
He says, "Okay." He doesn't put anything down.
And Mitch will watch until Shannon, Aaron, and Dutch get through the barrier.
If there's no questioning, then you all are able to pass through the ribbon without so much as a hiccup. There isn't even that pause, that second pause that you had before you moved through. This one seems to be smoother in its exit than it was in its entry. And quickly, Mitch is alone with Flagg. Are you sticking around?
For a second. So I'm sure you'll understand a bit of this differently than I do. I exist in every reality that I have seen. And I've seen a lot. I know you said not yet, but I will.
I trust you.
Something happens in the future, and then suddenly I don't exist in almost all of them.
Interesting.
I think this, and he points to the Energon, is why some of that happens. I think where we are, where our town is somehow slightly different than everywhere else. And in the future, or at least one of them, or one of the realities of the future, you're a different you, and we fight. I
He
need
just
you
nods.
to make me a promise.
I need to hear what the promise is, sir, before I can make such things.
I need you to do whatever it takes. Keep Garrett safe.
May I ask why?
I don't know.
He puts his hand out,
Mitch shakes his hand.
and you hear him whisper the word, but it booms across this glade, across the river of Energon, so much so that it spooks the Stegosaurus on the far side as he says, promise. And it reverberates throughout the space, forever linking Randall Flagg with the town of Garrett.
Sure, I'll see you again.
I'm sure we will.
Good luck. I'm
You
sure
as
you'll
well.
need it. And
Well,
Mitch
walk with me.
chuckled. Go ahead.
Yeah, as you're walking through, the last thing you hear from Flagg is, and it's not meant to be something that you're not supposed to hear. He says it loud enough to reach you. You travel with Madame Locke. You're safe enough.
I think there's like a quarter of a chuckle before he's through the wall.
And everybody, if you could go to your Spotify playlist, please. And I don't know, just turn on With or Without You, track number 3. Mitch, as you leave the ribbon, unlike Shannon, Dutch, and Aaron, who just passed through without any so much as a hiccup, you hit that second, that pause, that spare second, if you will, as reality flickers around you. The world pauses. You can see Aaron and Dutch and Shannon in front of you, but they freeze. The distortion ripples, and 2 figures step beside you. One is older, carries himself with a bit of an aggressive stance, and the other is younger, with a face that has 2 things. One that looks like it knows magic exists, and the other is it's exactly like yours. And the other is older. Nega Mitch turns and looks at you and says, "This is surreal. Again." God, I forgot how optimistic we looked. And the 2 of them begin to circle you in this moment. You are free to move, but everything is frozen. This is a spare second, something that Nega Mitch has learned to do on his own.
What is it this time?
We have a proposition.
Okay.
That was easy enough. I thought there would be fighting.
Are you the
And
wizard one?
the wizard Mitch looks over at Nega Mitch and says, no, you're the one that fights. We usually agree on stuff and then bitch about it behind someone's back.
Real quick, are you the wizard one?
Oh yeah, Casey. And he puts his hand out.
Oh. going by first names.
Well, I do, and it's easier.
It's fine.
Okay.
Are you us, or are you just a Mitch?
Yes, the second one. You are 2, and I am the backup. I've been told that a lot.
Tough.
It is, but what are you going to do?
Oh, I stopped myself from existing. So,
Well, he said that, but here you
Yeah.
are, and here he is, and
yeah,
he figured
yep,
you'd be around. So
yeah. What's the proposition this time?
Nega Mitch looks irritated. Listen, we can't beat him. We tried.
The two of you collectively, or
We
like
can't beat. No,
the-
yes, Mitchell. The two of us cannot beat him. We've tried.
okay? Do you have friends?
Not like us. You have friends. Has that helped you at all? And the wizard Mitch puts his hand on Nega Mitch's shoulder. Calm down. And he looks
Actually,
at you.
Literally
and
every
says-
time it's helped us.
Apologies to him. He's been dramatic since like 88. So just Nega Mitch, it just sort of crosses his arms and indicates that Casey should proceed. And Casey says, well, how about a team up?
I have a team, more or less. I just got to figure out how to get everyone back on the same page. What do you do? No offense. What do you do? Are you actually a wizard, or is it just a cool, like, I'm not actually an Autobot?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what they say, that sometimes, technology and science to the right people looks like magic, that type of stuff. It's not, I mean, I'm good. I'm really good, but I mean, it's more like any
so
kind
you
of
do the same thing
indication
we
of-
do.
I can't dive or any of that.
Oh, so you just do regular science?
I mean, it's not regular science. I think it's pretty good science, but
He turns to his older self and says, "Is it just regular science?"
Nega Mitch kind of rolls his eyes. It's pretty good science, but yeah, it's regular science.
Do you have friends? He says back to the wizard.
I've had numerous acquaintances. I've had plenty of people that I would consider to be very stand up, very
Oh,
forthright.
no. Okay. So, as dumb as this sounds and as wholly illogical, friends have helped me win every time.
Well, and Casey turns to Nega Mitch, if I may, and Nega Mitch just kind of waves him ahead. You don't want to keep your friends. You're not going to have them much longer, Mitch.
Aye.
And Nega Mitch turns to you. They start dying.
Aye.
Because they're not good enough. They're not supposed to be in any of this. The Nothing knows that. It humors the two of us because as much as we can't beat him, he can't beat us. And so he took everything else. He starts with George.
The Gabork?
No. You're headed towards Teletran 2, right?
Yeah.
It happens there.
I can guarantee that if you show up, everyone tries to kill one of us. Because if I die, you die. And if you show up, I'm pretty sure Rob went on a whole tangent about hating you. I mean, effectively, Rob hates both of you, but you more recently, I think.
I understand. Listen. Do you want to save them or not? This is what Nega Mitch is saying.
You can't team up and be part of the team, but you can tell me what you know. They
We're
won't
not
let
s-
you be on the. They won't let you be there. It'll be a fight immediately.
Casey looks between the two of you and looks at Negamich and says, He's right.
I'm not
Why
saying
don't we-"
no. I'm just explaining to you the reality of the situation you're in. You sort of fucked up real big.
Casey says, we could tell him now. And Negamich looks at him and says, I didn't learn this now. We can't tell him this now. It'll fuck up everything.
Why? You didn't know you were you when you were the fucking. I learned that you were me way earlier than you became me, and that didn't fuck up. Well, I'll kick your ass. But timeline
Okay.
can't get worse than it is.
Listen, Negamich says this to you, Mitch. You believe things can get better from this point. Is that correct? You believe you can affect change and make things better than they are right now.
Ultimately, I guess. Yeah.
You will fail. The only difference between you and me is I've lost a hell of a lot more than you have. But you'll get there. That I can promise.
I'm going to move on. I read a lot of
Casey
books.
says, I'm going to tell him. I'm telling him. I'm going to tell him. And Negamich moves to kind of stop Casey and then just throws his hands up. And inside this kind of ribbon, he walks off about 5 feet and just waves his hands on top of his, like over his head. And Casey says,
Listen, stop. If what you're about to say, you're confident that it's going to fuck up the timeline, then don't tell me.
I'm confident that it's going to fuck up the timeline. And because I'm a practitioner of awesome real science, I think that's a good thing.
Reality is you cannot be part of the team in a way that's not going to get your asses kicked immediately. And only one of you can teleport away. And
see, I strongly agree with that, Casey says.
So far, you seem okay, but also highly susceptible to an ass kicking. And Shannon has a gun. So I don't know how that's going to work for you, but I assume badly. I don't know what to say to get them to be okay with this. So if you want to invent some omniscient science that I can have a headphones in that you can tell me things right before they happen, I don't know what you got. You got a little bag of tricks. I got a bag of tricks, but it's 80s.
I have science, and my science is really good.
Okay, what can we do?
Do you know what the nothing is doing? And Negamich, you can hear him basically just inaudible grunts of negativity. Do you know what the nothing is?
I don't know what the nothing is. What are you talking about?
It's using the energon to rewrite Garrett. But not
Okay,
like the way that we wanted to. Not to make things right, not to bring people back. Not all the people that we lost. Well, that you guys lost, but I feel like I lost too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Rewriting it to keep it like the spare second. But like when you were young, when I was young, when we were, he wants it to just be like that, like in the 80s, forever. What kind of life is that? What kind of existence is that? And if he can do that, no. He's keeping it the way he wants it forever.
He's making a 1980s Garrett Neverland?
I mean, that's what I said, and he said that was stupid, and I agree with you. Yes, it is just like a Neverland.
Like just Garrett or like the whole world?
I believe, Casey says, that he's going to start with Garrett. He believes that he's going to do it to Garrett and then to hell with everything else.
We don't want to be rad kids forever?
We'd never get old. We'd never grow up, have a family or kids of our own. Or it's like a prison.
Is
There's
there
no
nothing
life
another
there.
one of us?
Not that my science has determined.
Me. Is he another one of us? That sounds like an us
Negami-
plan.
Negamitch from 5 feet away says, no, fucking already checked. No.
Okay. I mean, like I guess being perpetually children forever is bad. Yes. What's the alternative? Awfulness?
Negamitch turns around and he says, he walks right up to you and he says, I did it. I fixed everything.
Yeah.
No, not the shit that happened between us. You guys were gone. I fixed it here. It was done. Everyone was back. Everyone was okay. He showed up.
I figured out the sequence of events that needed to change a couple years ago, but the cost was too high. That's why
I paid it.
That's why you're you. That's why you're the bad guy.
Is it bad to bring all of our friends back?
At the
Is it
cost-
bad to all the people that we lost to bring them back?
Yeah, all the people that you made other people lose?
I reset everything. Anybody that I had to kill to get to where we were, I brought them back. I fixed it, Mitch. You know that. You're not going to leave people dead.
It doesn't make you less of a homicidal maniac. You still killed.
You don't understand what I was doing.
Like,
I fixed everything. I made a perfect world that I knew I was never going to be a part of.
go back to the spare second. I know exactly what you did. I figured it out.
There is no spare second anymore.
I was dying. Okay.
Listen, I can't beat him by myself. I can't beat him with Mr. Science over here. I need you.
What happens when everything goes back to normal? You.
We're kids again. We're gone. Everyone lives. No one remembers.
Why would we want to never remember? That seems
You're not-
worse than being trapped as a child forever.
I can guarantee you, Mitch, that you're not going to want to remember what happens next.
The shit we go through informs who we are.
You tell me that after you watch Jerry Baker die in your arms.
We can fix this without going back to kids.
It doesn't work like that. You have to reset to a point. Mr.
point?
Science will tell you that. The night when we went to see Predator, that's when it all started. That's
Why?
where it all went wrong. He points to everything. This guy was working the entire time. Against Maggie. I didn't know, against us. Having us do his dirty work for him. Having you, your group, do his dirty work. Having that other group. And pulling strings. And I didn't see it. Not until it was too late. We don't have a lot of time, man. We're at the loop. He can't come in there. We don't know why. If you can get there, maybe we can stop him. But Mitch, you gotta hurry, and you see tears start coming down Nega Mitch's face. He tears through them. And he makes you watch.
Mitch jabs himself in the chest. It says, if you fucking lie to me, if this is a bullshit scheme or some cockamamie fucking trap, I will let Shannon shoot me in the face.
I wish it was. But those games are over. If we can help from where we are, we can't leave, or he'll tear us apart too now that you're in play. He knows that we can all drop.
How do we get to the loop?
You're going to have to run. As fast as you can. And Casey steps forward and he looks down. He has a large device on his wrist that almost looks like a Pip-Boy from Fallout. And he looks down at it and he says, we're out of time, man. And they're almost out of time too. And Nega Mitch turns and looks at you.
In your cool science?
I mean, I'm telling you how much time, whatever, man, but.
Okay, that's fine. I will tell them, and I will try to buy you enough time to explain yourselves. That's all I can offer.
Then go, man. Go. As soon as George gets to you all, leave. Do not stay there. Do you understand?
Got it.
And as you're walking through, you hear Nega Mitch at the very end. He says, Mitch, if we fall, you're the last version of us. There aren't any others.
Okay.
And they fade back into the ribbon as you exit. And as you step out in front of you, you see an unpainted Teletran 2 and the rest of the Mag Truck graveyard as Shannon Locke and Dutch and Aaron are just a few paces ahead as time resumes. But it is to Rose Hill Cemetery that we now whip into the mausoleum of the Clevenger family. Inside, Rob Ott and Jerry Baker stand in front of a closed door with the faint scratching and wailing of the Nuthlings on the other side. But for a moment, for a beat, in this darkness, the two of you are alone. Is there anything that you say to one another amidst the panting of breath and the experience of seeing friends turned into shades and flashes of a past never learned and of a promised other world abandoned?
I feel like Rob is just silent and breathing. He doesn't know what's going on. He was underneath a pile of these things, and now he's awake in a mausoleum with a door shut after having a quick retelling of his origin story.
Right?
Yeah, and he wakes up and he's there with Jerry. I guess you're gonna ask him how we got there.
Yeah, Jerry's kind of looking around because it seemed like a good plan on the outside, but he's questioning himself now. I don't know, man. You were buried. It was the only thing I could think of was get inside.
Okay, that's them out there. He kind of points to the door and the sound.
Roll me and investigate. Jerry needs 1 success, but Rob, because of the distance, needs 2.
One.
Rob, from your position kind of deeper in the mausoleum as Jerry's over by the door, you can hear voices outside. You can hear the general kind of commotion and the scratching against the outside of the mausoleum, but you can also hear defined voices, but it's just out of earshot. You can't make out what is being said.
I thought I had this figured out. I thought it was Ben and I thought we'd get through to him, but they were going to tear you apart.
Well, I don't think I want to give them that luxury. Crazy thought. He's gonna look around. Mausoleums don't have a side door.
They do not. In fact, inside this mausoleum, which is rather large, you can see that there are several what would essentially be cubbies along this kind of longhouse type mausoleum. Each of the shelves presumably holding a member of the Clevenger family. But strangely enough, as this is the biggest structure inside of Rose Hill Cemetery, even as kids, you've never been inside it. And you can see that it is very intricate in here. There's actually like the walls have elements of a mural to them. And there is a history of the town of Garrett, it seems to be. In fact, both of you roll me a comprehend as you kind of look around in this dim light. There's venting that's letting in light from the ceiling, but no windows or anything of that nature.
I got 2.
Rob, as you look around, you see that this history of the town of Garrett encompasses as far back as you can possibly imagine, with just pictures of vast, wide woodlands, deep forest, and the rolling hills that you come to play in as a kid and adventure in as a young adult. The history shows that even the Native American tribes of the area, the Shawnee and the Delaware, they traveled through this area, but they never rested here. They never called this place home. This was a place of burial, a place of a deep woods, reverential. But you do know that with this continued history, several of the families, the names are very familiar to Rob, having grown up in Garrett and continuing to live here now. The Clevengers, along with the Caspers and the Living Goods and the Emrocks and the Lewises, these are all families that have been here since almost the very beginning. And you can see that the Clevengers, again, with 2 successes on your comprehend, you remember that this family in particular was always considered very lucky, and that none of them were ever poor. They were always wealthy. And the Clevenger family ended when the matriarch died childless in 1987. And that is where the end of the mural kind of commences in the far back, which you can only assume is probably close to the very last of the crypts. It's an interesting kind of walk down nostalgia lane, but even with you're investigating everything, you can tell there's no other way out of here. There's just the dead and the front door. And as you kind of walk back and see all of this, Jerry, you hear from the other side of the door Ben's voice say, "We can help you, brother. We're here to help." just stop holding the door, and we can help you. It's okay.
Jerry's not here. Rob, do you have your Mitchie talkie?
I want to say Rob gave it to somebody. I'm almost positive he gave it to one of the kids.
I'm actually pretty sure he gave it to Shannon whenever you guys met up, because you guys didn't have a Mitchie talkie, or was that no? That's the other way around. You guys did have one, and no, Rob, I think you do still have yours.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Here it is.
We'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Oh, yes. And he's gonna like.
You still have your headset thing too. So yeah, you definitely have one.
Yeah. Autobots, come in. Come in, Autobots. Over.
George, roll me an investigate.
Negative.
The radio on the Mustang crackles. You did not have it on. But as we see George, you're currently hauling ass south, correct? With Mitchell pointing the way to,
yes,
presumably to Teletran 2. Rob, all you get back is static.
Mitchell help him? Be able to help him in that role by chance, Greg?
Well, you know what? Why don't we do that again? Why don't you roll again with a +1 for Mitchell?
Sweet. Well, how about that?
Well, look at that. As you're driving, Mitchell continues to point, but his head spins around and the eyes flash as you hear Rob's voice say, We can't hear you, bud.
Oh yeah, he forgot to push the button. Autobots come in. It's Rob. It's Robin Prime. Hello. Over.
And George, you would hear that.
Robin's Prime, this is Ultra Magnus. Come in.
Oh my God, you gotta help us.
Yeah, I'm on the way. What's wrong?
Lots of creepy guys have me and Jervier trapped into the mausoleum.
Okay, any big dogs?
He's gonna look over at Jerry.
I guess I'm
top dog. It doesn't matter. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing one. All right.
Okay. Over.
Wait, where are you? You're muted again.
Mausoleum Cemetery.
Okay, Mitchie, you got that?
Mitchell stops for a second, and you see the eyes kind of flutter, almost like they're downloading something. And then Mitchell's arm turns and points in a different direction, almost parallel to where you are right now. And you hear a voice that is very robotic. Rose Hill Cemetery, as it points in a direction opposite of, not opposite, but kind of off to the side of where you currently are.
Yeah, George would cut the turn and go that way. If Rob's in trouble, Jerry's in trouble, then he needs to go there.
Absolutely. So we're going to roll a move roll for you, because are you going to take your dad's Mustang directly into Rose Hill Cemetery?
I mean, it's already busted up. Yeah, dude. Plus, time might reset. Who knows? This isn't real. It's a dream. George is still figuring that stuff out. He's plowing through that place. It might be disrespectful to the graveyards, but if life's on the line, it's what the dead would want. So he's gonna, if he does, he'll plow through that shit. That,
by the way, is my new favorite. What did you say? If life is on the line, the dead would understand. Is that what? Yeah. Oh my God, that is effing fantastic. All right, so I want to move roll from you. Give yourself a +1 because Mitchell is guiding you.
Okay.
And this is you driving into the cemetery.
Correct. Oh no, and I can't push. Okay.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go down. Jerry, you are inside the mausoleum closest to the door, and you hear on the other side, you hear the voice of Ben. Brother, I'm not lying to you. Open, let us get in. We're here to help you. It's not what you think.
I think you're lying to me about lying to me.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that you're trying to get to me.
I'm trying to help you, man. I see things different.
Well, could you try seeing things the same?
No, because we're wrong. And that's when the screaming starts as a Mustang starts laying waste to nothlings outside. George, you are again, remember, no windshield in the Mustang. So there are nothlings, pieces of nothlings, small nothlings coming through the window, rolling over top of you. This is literally like driving through a crowd of humanoids. And it's in that moment that the two of you, both Rob and Jerry, inside the mausoleum, hear what sounds like the start of World War III on the outside as a vehicle of some kind makes its way to the very door of the Clevenger Mausoleum. What do the two of you want to do before we jump back out into the sea of nothlings and a Mustang?
I think Jerry will throw the door open. It's go time.
Is all right here?
Just as you say that, Rob, a Mustang covered in nothlings, not really wanting to be on the Mustang, but are part of it now, are rolling over as you see George driving his dad's car. It is beat to shit, but he is there in the graveyard. And for a moment, Jerry, when you open the door, you are pushing actual nothlings as you open the door from the inside. They had already had it basically unlatched. So you're able to push it open into them. You're going to have to hold it though as Rob makes his way out. Otherwise, this kind of crowd is going to close it again. So Rob, I need a move roll from you to make it into the car, and Jerry, a force roll to keep the door open. Rob, you run out and describe to me how there's a sea of nothlings, some standing, some kneeling, some lying on the ground, and a Mustang covered in said nothlings. And George, you see Rob running towards you through this sea of enemies. What do the two of you do when you see one another? And Jerry, you stay put for just a second.
Wait, I can see these guys now?
Yeah, you can see Rob running towards you out of the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Jerry's holding the door, but Rob's running.
I think I would actually look past Rob. If Rob was making it, I'd be like, I just imagine it's like in slow motion too. I'd be like, Jerry, and I'm like banging on the side of the door, like waving him over, cheering him on.
Is the window down?
Oh, this thing is open air. This thing is caved.
Oh, okay. Oh,
okay. This thing is barely
all the windows are down.
There is no window.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Rob's gonna kind of dive into the back. Just like he's trying to reach for a touchdown.
Rob, you're able to dive in like Pete Rose into third base as you slide into the back. Jerry, I want you to roll me why don't you roll me a charm, and you need 2 successes.
Well, I'll see what I can do, Greg.
Sure.
I can give you 1.
I'll ask if you'd like to push.
Yes. but it didn't work.
All right. One condition for Jerry, up to 1. Jerry, you hear Rob or you hear George yelling for you. And at this point, your window is open. I need you to roll me a move or a force, depending upon how you want to get through here. If you want to go for speed, it's a move. If you want to go for blunt force trauma, it's a force.
Well, do I see who I might recognize as Ben in this melee?
I'm going to say no, simply because there was a lot of commotion out here. And when you kind of look right on the outside of the door, because that's where it sounded like he was coming from, you can't see anything that even resembles that shade of Ben and or Scarlet that you saw before.
Well, then I'll use force with 3 successes.
You call the lightning?
Yeah, if Rob's already clear to the car, I'll probably lash out with lightning fists.
Roll me a d12 on top of that. With 4 successes, George, you basically have the best view of the pyrotechnics that is Jerry Baker as he walks out of the mausoleum and just lights up everything on the outside. You see kind of chain lightning, almost like the Nazis at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, as that lightning lances through and they all kind of jolt, and he lays waste to no fewer than 20 or 30 of these nothlings as they are electrified in kind of a sea and forest of frozen and quivering figures. As Jerry doesn't run, he strides to the Mustang, and with his last little kind of flick of electricity, he is able to clear the hood and what remains of the roof and the side panels and stuff of the Mustang of any of the nothlings. Jerry, front or back seat? I'm giving you the shotgun option since Rob jumped in the back.
I think as he strides up and clears it, he just goes, shotgun, and then slides in.
Awesome. And George, just for flavor, roll us a move roll as you presumably peel wheel to get out of here.
You said move?
Move, please. Yeah.
1 success.
Without any complications other than the already battered vehicle, you guys are quickly en route to Teletran 2. We will stick with you for this little moment as you are now barreling towards the mag truck graveyard. You're on the gravel road exiting Garrett, and it is to that failed charm roll that we return to Jerry. As Jerry, you feel something in your hand as one of your fists that was conducting the electricity seems to have something inside of it, something that you picked up inside the Clevenger mausoleum.
Open my hand and investigate that.
It's a beautiful golden ring. Very plain, just a band.
I mean, does it fit?
Well, it sure does.
Well, I guess I'll slide that on. Who's going to turn away a free ring?
Correct. And at this moment, roll me an investigate, Rob. George is too busy watching the road. Rob, you're in the back seat, so I'll take an investigate as you're kind of lying there on the floor. With 1 success, you are the only one that bears witness to the disappearance of Jerry Baker.
Does Rob get a chance to say anything, or are we camera panning?
Nope, we're sticking with it. George, you are now on the road to Teletran 2. How fast do you think George will be going to make it to Teletran 2?
Oh, he's riding the red line. This thing, he's taking it up over 3,000 RPMs. He's as fast as he can go.
Okay, and somehow this American muscle that is the Mustang, despite its beat to shit frame, is still hauling ass due south towards Teletran 2. One last investigate roll from George.
Oh, was I supposed to roll one earlier?
No.
This okay, good, because it doesn't matter. 0.
Investigate, 0 successes. You do not see the ribbon that is surrounding Teletran 2 until it is too late. And so the three of you, well, four if you include Mitchell, exit the Mustang as it pauses for a second. You enter the field, pause for a second, go flying through prehistoric Garrett as Randall Flagg is smoking and watches three human beings and a robot fly through prehistoric Garrett. You hit the other side just as Mitch and Shannon reemerge, and you would see your three compatriots hit the ground almost right after you, Mitch, as they roll to a stop. I'm not going to give anybody any conditions for that because it was flavor and I thought it was fun. So as you all land and come to a stop, you all see the area that was Teletran 2, where all of you sort of, your adventures started, your adventures began. This is the, where all of the fun things happened. At least they began or ended in this very spot, but this isn't a spot that you've ever known. At least it's never known you, because Teletran 2 is not green. It's not painted by the loving artistic hand of George Butts. It looks just like a mag truck and not cleverly camouflaged to look like a bush. So you identify it immediately. But it's in this moment that you see this entire space, and this goes for Shannon and Mitch as well. This entire space seems to be the center of where this time disturbance is. You see that the normal security lights that were in the mag truck graveyard are floating between like very modern LEDs that none of you would even know about, these very bright focused lights, to orange sodium lamps, to 1980s neon from a parking lot, and cassette tapes with their ribbons of recorded material flapping behind them, blow in the wind like leaves. There's a faint hint of arcade music, of different cabinets, of Dragon's Lair and Pac-Man that is riding the wind like a bit of a soundtrack. And that is when all of you in this space that you used to call home, the hideout of Teletran 2, you see the nothing descend from the sky as a split appears and a ribbon opens, and this creature of inky black, one that Shannon has just recently encountered and the one that all of you have spoken to or at least seen once, walks down from the sky as if descending from a balcony. What do the Autobots do now that you are all together? And I will end with this. Mitch, you hear them saying, George is the first to die.
As soon as Mitch recognizes that his friends are here, he is going to grab Shannon's hand and like pull her towards him. And like looking her right in the eye, he says, "Get everyone to run the loop now. Shannon, now."
Does Shannon have a inkling as to what's going on, or is she just
Mitch
Like-
looks concerned.
okay?
And Meta, for Shannon's, for your RP purposes, this has been like a second. You walked out
Yeah.
with Aaron and Dutch, and a moment later, Mitch walked out. There was no long conversation that eclipsed for you or elapsed for you. And a second after that, Jerry, George, and Rob basically came flying into the scene and crashed into the ground as if they had been vomited up by Garrett itself.
And I would say
And
it's like
now
I would say like it Meta, you're like Shannon's probably still realizing that they're even here by the time Mitch
Yeah.
grabs her and says, "Get them to go."
and you would see
Wait,
that
is the
creature.
car? Is the vehicle here, or are they just them? Okay.
They went for a trip. Mitchell's
I
here
see,
too.
Okay.
And in this, as the nothing is walking down from the sky, he begins to point at almost like he's checking off a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he ends with George.
As soon as Mitch stops talking to Shannon, he drops to his knee and looks at Aaron and says, "Take that and go."
Okay. And you see that from his curled hand, the item that he took from the prehistoric Garrett is the unfinished cigarette of Randall Flagg, and he puts it between his lips and he says, "I got it, Uncle Mitch."
Mitch absolutely laughs in this moment. There's no yeah.
Everyone, in this moment, I'm going to do something that we ask for, something that we have never done in this Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood, Atari Twilight, Atari Midnight. I've never asked you all to roll initiative. So if you could, each of you roll me a D20.
Have those here.
All righty, everybody. As they come in, it's looking like we're so far we're in line. Look at that. You literally rolled everybody in initiative order. That is unreal. George, Rob, Jerry, Mitch, and Shannon. George.
Well, we shouldn't have let George go first.
Or maybe you should have.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Maybe should have, yeah. Mind your
George,
business.
I know what I would have used my turn on.
as you kind of like dust yourself off and look up at the descending nothing, you realize that his eyes, if he had them, you can see that for somehow you can, as you always can, that without facial features, you still know that the gaze of this creature is directly on you. In this moment of mania, as the Autobots face the nothing in our season finale, George Butts, with 5 conditions, what do you do? By the way, everybody, George looks like shit.
Yeah.
Should Aaron roll initiative, Greg? Maybe Aaron goes before Butts.
Oh, no, I control Aaron. Aaron will take care of everything.
Sick. No. Cool.
I think in that moment, realizing that eyes are locked with the nothing, I don't think I take my eyes off him as being because he's a threat. So I think I just use my intuition of like, okay, I know my boy's over here. I'm gonna start like eyes locked on him, but stepping backwards towards Aaron, to Mitch, to Shannon, to check in with Aaron, make sure he's good.
Your son is smoking. If you put a glance down, you would see that there is a hand-rolled cigarette with smoke coming out of it.
Oh,
And
it's
he goes,
actually lit.
"Oh yeah, it's still burning. It's only been a couple seconds for him." Yeah, and that's why he had it cupped. He didn't want it to go out. And so there was smoke coming out through the fingers if the investigate roll had succeeded. Anyhow, so as he's smoking, he goes, "Dad, come on."
I would say, yeah, guys, we gotta fucking go. I'm beat to hell. I can't fight this guy. I just fought a wolf, a dire wolf. Aaron, let's go. Get that out of your fucking mouth, kid. Let's go. It's bad for you. Pardon my language.
Aaron takes the cigarette out of his mouth and flicks it, and he looks at the other remainder of the group and he goes, "You heard Dad. Let's fucking go."
Did he look cool flicking the cigarette at least?
He always looks cool. Aaron is like
Yeah.
the coolest little kid you've ever met.
Yeah.
At least he
Yeah.
thinks so. You know.
And I'm picking him up. I know he's got little legs, so I'll pick him up and just start heading.
George, roll me an investigate, and I will also take an investigate from Mitch.
No surprise here, a fail.
Also failed.
Excellent. So in this moment, George, what exactly do you do? Where do you run? Where do you go? As you have Aaron, and you can at least tell me what you begin to do and which direction you begin to go in.
Yeah. So he's directly over what should be Teletran 2. right? Or is he up to
Correct.
the side? Shoot.
He's
Okay.
basically like 50 yards in front of where Teletran 2 would be. He's not directly over.
Okay, so
He's
we
like
do
in
not have an
front of it.
option. We do not have an option to get there without passing closer to this guy. So,
Oh no, you can get to, if you want to run to Teletran 2, you can do so without crossing his path. I'm sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
okay. I think he would. I think in this case he's in a defensive mode. I think he would try to go to some place where there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be something between him, something that can obscure his movement. So if it's Teletran 2, but it's dangerous, maybe if there's some more bushes or vines or prehistoric plants or whatever. I know we're outside of the zone of that zone, but if there's something that could at least obfuscate his outline, that's what he'd be looking to do.
Absolutely. Roll me a move, and this number of successes will determine how far you and Aaron get.
2 successes.
You make it all the way to Teletran 2, and the hatch is open already. And you get there just in time to see Mitchell riding his little treads up the ramp. That is something that the investigate roll by both of you failed to clock, as Mitchell is opening Teletran 2 and is currently entering into your hideout. But the door's open and you can get inside, and if you choose to do so with your son.
Without metagaming, I think George would do so. He doesn't know anything else is wrong besides missing its paint.
Fantastic. And what I will say is this: roll me a d6, because this determines how the rest of this goes.
1.
Woo! All righty. It's at this moment that the nothing drops down. Our next person up is Rob. And Rob, you see as George kind of quits the scene to Teletran 2, the creature's gaze turns to you, the last of the defenders, and he starts to speak as he's moving towards you. You have a chance to act in this moment, but as you're doing so, you hear the following: "You are fascinating. You were not born, you were imagined. Isn't that something else? A protection spell that forgot it was a spell and thought it was a little boy. My, oh my, delicious robot. You know that you're a side effect, right? A ripple from a careless act of creation. A mistake in point of fact. One that I mean to correct right now." And the head flashes over to Mitch. "Keep your eyes peeled, Mitchell. Number 1's going down." Rob, what do you do?
He's gonna look over at Mitch and go, "Yeah, watch this." And he's gonna go. He's gonna take a hard step towards nothing.
And what would you like to do?
I kind of want to shoot him with a magic missile.
Roll a d12 for me. What's it look like?
It almost kind of like a half scorpion get over here, and then it's just a giant purple crystal spike that shoots out of his hand. Mostly energy, I guess, not like an actual in that shape. Just kind of try to pin it through his chest.
Fantastic. And what you imagine is what comes to be as you do, in fact, fire this thing out and you see it sink into the inky blackness that is the nothing. Everybody go to your Spotify playlist and cue up track number 2, Head Like a Hole. We should have something like that right now. And in that moment, as per the one that was rolled by George, you see the nothing take the shot. But as he does, you see him almost like something out of Game of Thrones as he raises his hands. But instead of bringing forth the dead of Garrett or summoning nothlings, you all see arcade cabinets begin to rise out of the ground all around you. as they explode. I need everybody in the space, sans George, to roll me a move roll. Shannon, you can push if you would like to. You will take a condition, though.
You need 2 successes, Greg, or just 1?
Just one.
Can I, since I'm standing right next to her, can I
Wouldn't I
pull
take a
Shannon
condition
out of the
anyway?
way?
Sure, but I will say these conditions from the Nothing have more to them than just taking a condition. There is detriments beyond just the mechanical effect. If
Can I
that
pull her out of
flavors
the
your
way?
decision. I'll tell you what, if you want to give her one of your successes, I will allow it, but you need to take a condition to do so.
Ooh.
Only the combined roll will do so, taking you to 4.
I gotta,
Don't do that.
yeah.
Don't do that.
Sorry,
Um,
Meta.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'll push it. I'll be at 3 conditions.
Okay. Roll me another
Hopefully
move.
I don't get fucked over here. 1 success.
That success gets you out of the way. In this moment, you see that Dutch is kind of caught up in the wake of one of these explosions, and you see him freeze in place. He doesn't appear to be harmed, so to speak, but he cannot move. And you see the Nothing turn to target him specifically. As we go in the initiative order to Jerry. What would you like to do, buddy?
Well, Rob shooting magic is new. And I think, Shannon's out here. I think I'm just going to go run to the entrance to the Teletran. Kind of put myself between George and the kid and the Nothing.
Okay. Roll me a move as you look to quit to Teletran 2.
That's 0. I'd like to use my re-roll per session for this.
Go right ahead. Absolutely.
I got 2 now.
You make it all the way. And so almost on the heels of George, you make it into Teletran 2. And you watch as Mitchell rolls up the ramp and heads towards the front of Teletran 2 in this moment. Roll me a D6, Jerry.
That's a 1.
More arcade machines spring up around the ground as the Nothing stands in front of, it starts moving towards Dutch. I need move rolls from everybody still on the field. That's Rob, Mitch, and Shannon. Okay, you all evade the explosions. Nobody is caught within them. As the Nothing now moves almost directly in front of Dutch, and you see him produce from one of his arms moves forward, and it bears the resemblance of a scythe as he begins to initiate an attack on Dutch. Mitch, it's your turn.
Mitch again turns to Shannon and looks over his shoulder at Dutch and then back to her and says, "We can get him back. You have to trust me. You have to get them to the loop." And then he is going to step over to Rob. He's going to move over to Rob, sort of taking a defensive position next to Rob. And he basically says the same thing to Rob. Like he's going to stand in Rob's place. And he says, "Rob, you have to get them to the loop. Trust me."
Okay. You saw me do the shoot thing though.
It was very cool, Rob. We have to go.
All right. Okay.
And Mitch, if they move towards Teletran 2, Mitch will be the last one to go there. So he's going to stand next to Rob in a defensive stance.
Okay, so you're holding your action until you see what Rob does?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to go to Teletran to get butts.
Okay. Shannon, you are next in the initiative order, and I will let you know that the nothing moves after everyone. So it is you and then the nothing. Shannon, what do you do in this moment? Almost beside you, you see a frozen Dutch, and you can tell that he is awake. You can see his eyes moving. You can see the thump of his blood pulsing through his artery of his neck. And you can see a slight smile appear on his face. And you know that smile well enough that it is a bit of the bravado that Dutch always carries about himself. And in that look and that glance, he says, whatever you decide, it's all right.
Shannon's going to attempt to activate her spark and tackle the nothing.
Roll me a d12.
Six.
With that success, you do in fact. And Mitch, despite pleas that were made, you see Shannon, ever the defender, the one the nothing fears, jump towards him. And you notice that the creature recoils a second as Shannon Locke jumps on top of the nothing just as it begins to swing at Dutch, a shot that would have surely ended his life. And she rides the nothing down to the ground as they both crash into the dirt of the mag truck graveyard. And what would you do at this moment? Are you raining blows down? Are you shooting? What is the actual physical attack of Shannon Locke in this moment?
I don't think Shannon is going for traditional destruction here. She feels a little savage right now because she's just over it. I think she's actually going to try to use her teeth to rip the nothing's throat out.
Roll me a force. In this moment, I'm going to leave this to the nothing and Shannon, and Mitch and Rob, if you all want to run, you can. As you see Shannon fully engaged with 3 successes in this moment.
I'm trying to grab butts and get him gone too.
Dutch.
No, butts who ran
this is
to
inside Teletran 2.
Yeah, I thought we had to go to the loop, so I'm getting him to.
Are you all quitting to Teletran 2 to get everybody, or?
Yeah, Jerry's also in Teletran 2, right? So it's not just Butts in there. So
yeah, you guys would have seen George and Jerry run into Teletran 2.
Mitch will shove Rob, not like aggressively, but like to go, and Mitch darts towards Dutch.
You can get to him. Is your intent to pick him up and run with him?
To bring him to Teletran.
I'm going to say this because there's nothing in between you all and doing this. You are able to get to Teletran 2, and kind of looking forward a few seconds, you all would see anybody inside Teletran 2 would see Mitchell the robot run up to the front of Teletran 2, up a ramp that seems to have been made for him, as he moves into a little device that closes around his body, only allowing his head out as Teletran 2 roars to life. And it starts to lift off the ground. And Mitchell says, fasten your seatbelts.
As soon as Mitch gets Dutch close enough to like pass him off to somebody, he looks back out and attempts to go for Shannon.
Well, then why don't we cue up the last track of our playlist, Forever Young. With 3 forced success rolls, Shannon Locke, the one being that the nothing fears, tears at his throat in a move that would have made the full-grown Gamork envious. And as this begins to, you actually bite and taste. It's the oddest sensation. If you could taste Garrett, it tastes like Ping's Asian cuisine. It tastes like a shake from the Chat and Chew. It tastes like a summer night and a Boone's Farm drink from a bottle. It is the absolute diluted essence of the 80s. And whether or not that's a palate cleanser for Shannon or something that she likes, it is nevertheless in your mouth and in your throat as you feel this disgusting, almost inky substance, this viscous substance kind of ripped free. And for a moment, you see pink flesh, a jaw that is exposed all the way up to the nose. Roll me contact.
Okay. That should be interesting. 1 success.
And as the rest of this inky, almost like someone peeling the mask off of a defeated superhero or a villain or somebody who tried to commit a crime in Scooby-Doo, you see the face of Ben looking back at you. Why didn't you leave?
She doesn't say anything. She just looks at him. And like there's just this intensity between them, I think, for a second. And then she finally says, "You need to stop."
You see his form shift. And you see Maggie looking back up at you. You should have left. There's another flash and you see your father. You never knew what was good for you, little Miss Shannon. There's another flash and all of the faces that you remember from your youth, children, adults, people in command and power, Main Street Jimmy, the bum on the street, every face that you've ever seen in Garrett flickers across the visage of the nothing as it looks at you. I'll let them all live. Even Dutch. Nee. Chris. Help me finish it.
How?
Join me. No roll here. There's fear in his eyes. And Mitch, you get down the ramp to see this exchange.
He's sprinting towards them.
You're afraid, which means that I'm going to win.
And
I
if
told you to
win,
stand down.
we all lose. You're the only one that can beat me. And you're the only one that can save Garrett. I'll let you do both.
Then let's go.
He smiles, and you see the face of Dutch. I'm him too, you know. I'm all of them. I know everything he ever thought and the way he feels about you, and it's part of his thoughts that made me scared of you, but I'm not scared anymore. Kids like to talk about the past, the present, and the future, but for people like us, that's not what it is. As Mitch is running, almost in slow motion off to the side of you, there's only what was, what will be, and the space between. And it's in that space between where time forgets to move. That's where we make things right. You'll help me?
Yeah, I'll help you make it right.
And his face turns into a face that you've never seen before. Maybe 12, 13 years old, with a black bowl cut. You help me? You promise?
Yeah. We're going to figure this out.
Okay. And he stands up if you let him.
She does.
And he reaches out a hand. And Mitch, as you're running, Teletran 2 roars to life behind you as you see the Nothing stand up with a face that you've never seen before either, and puts a hand out to Shannon.
She takes his hand.
And you see Shannon Locke turn into a Nothling as wispy smoke and ink converts her. But Shannon, you don't see that or feel that. Instead, when you look around, you see Garrett as it was in your youth. The Garrett of 1987. There are no ribbons. The sun is out. Everything is as it was. And all the Nothlings that were around the periphery of this space watching as the Nothing confronted you all are gone. And you see the faces of all of the people of Garrett. And you see Ben and Scarlet, and Ben comes running, and you hear him yell, "Oh, thank God. Thank God, Shannon. Now you can help us. We're going to make it right." But Mitch, you see a wave of Nothlings pour out of where the ribbon was. They rush down and sort of envelop Shannon and the Nothing. And the Nothing turns and looks at you and smiles and holds up one finger. One down, 4 to go. And that's where we'll end our season of Atari Midnight. Stay tuned for Atari Midnight Season 2, The Space Between.
Fuck you, Greg. Oh man, a time has been had. Let's make these outros quick. We have a lot to talk about in the after show. If you guys want access to the after show, join us over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. While you're down there, make sure you join us on the Discord. Do all that fun stuff. I'm gonna do this real quick. Bitters has been Jerry. Mike has been Butts. Kendall has been Rob. You can find him over on Always Bloody and Duskwell. Meta has been Shannon. And Greg, give us your outro, please. Since no one else.
I have been Greg. Back to you, Mike.
Great. Find Greg over at Warp Reactor. That's it from us. We'll see you guys next time. From all of us to you. Bye.